My artwork is inspired by natural environments. I've always been intrigued by different patterns in nature, different structures, large and small, and so spend a lot of time observing that. It's affected the way that I want to create what are still imaginative spaces. So the spaces I'm creating are not directly out of nature, but it's very easy for me to see many connections to natural sources. My process before I get into a gallery space is very different than what happens in the gallery. When I'm at home or in my studio, it's generally more like a factory production mode, so I have a lot of work to just manufacture individual pieces. With the particular work that's here, it's a lot of cutting sheets of plastic, and then I melt the plastic sheets. So I have to be careful about how I do that, but it becomes very methodical as I try to get as much done as possible. I really enjoy what's happening in terms of the texture as the melting happens at the surface. There's small things that are sculpturally interesting to me, but when I put that in contrast to in a gallery space, it's really exciting for me to actually install, because that's where all of the nice gestures and forms happen, and I don't get to do as much of that in a gallery. In my studio. So rather, when I'm in the gallery, that's when it really comes to life. That's the most dynamic and interesting part to me. I felt like installation went very smoothly for this piece. There are always going to be challenges. It's tricky to work far from home, so I love the trip down to Fort Lauderdale, but if something isn't quite right, you don't get to really just hop right back and change it. So trying to make sure that everything was coordinated all at one in one attempt. It always puts some pressure on, but there was good support, and I felt like that actually went pretty well. It's hot here, but it wasn't so bad when we installed. It was tricky trying to figure out exactly what our lighting solution was going to be. There were a lot of options and a lot of variables, and that's maybe what made the ArtsUP installation so exciting, was that there were a lot of possibilities for after it began that it might have a kind of a dynamic life. But while we were coming out with different strategies, just trying to kind of wrap our heads around what would be the best lighting solution in particular, and how does that affect the compositions, because we're dealing with, in the ceiling space, it's a darker background visually instead of a lighter background. So trying to figure out how to frame certain pieces was definitely a challenge. And we broke it up, so there are areas that there's definitely the most dominant area is a whiter or lighter structure with a dark background. But I'm actually really enjoying what happens when we put the dark material over the dark background, and it gets a little bit more chance to breathe. So sorting through all that was definitely a big set of variables. We did get the whole piece hung, all the pieces were up, and it went pretty smoothly, but then it was a question of like how to figure out lighting, and we kept playing with that. And in a way, it wasn't done because we would shift between alternate versions and different combinations of lighting solutions. Each presented kind of a different finished piece, and I was okay with that being a little bit open-ended when I walked away at the beginning of the installation, knowing that it could be viewed in a couple different ways. We had LED lights, we had some projection, and a couple sort of special effects lights, and all of them seems to work well enough in different combinations. So, yeah. Working with ArtsUP was really exciting because I felt like the work was able to interact with a lot of different groups of people. And I got a good impression of that, even though it was unfortunately farther away than I wanted to be. It made me kind of want to be back to sort of join the conversation. But a lot of what I want to do with my artwork, I want to put it out into the world and let other people respond to it. And while that happens to some degree, anytime you put your work up, I felt like that was a real target for ArtsUP. So the fact that there was an active pursuit of different creative groups of people, individuals that were willing to come into this space and do their thing, legitimately do their own thing, but to find ways to kind of interact that with the work. It was really exciting to see whenever that was happening, really kind of trying to keep track of things through the internet. So it was a lot of fun to have those interactions with other creative people.